The name Elohim, I pronounce this name, this holy name, as Elohim, and the third letter is actually Hey, but I pronounce this letter Hey as the sound K. Why is it so? It is written in the Torah. It is a prohibition to mention the holy name in vain. That's why we do it like this. And try to do it like this. Don't ask yourself why deeply. It's like this. Also the angels that are powers. We will speak about angels special when, Angels, okay. The angels, we will speak about them on the right place. And there are like Michael, I pronounce it in Hebrew way. Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, the four great angels of Malachim, the name of them, of the angels in the Hebrew, of Malachei Asharet, the angels that dienst doen de engelen, the angels that are serving, the serving angels. So also the names of them, also some names, also it's not it's recommended to us. And who recommends me? My great teacher, Ari. And he didn't pronounce them fully, just the first two letters. And then we will see it. But in what concerning the prime names of prime holy names, like Elohim, but I pronounce it the third letter as Hey, as K, sound K and not Hey, is in order not to, like as I told already. You know why? Because look, sometimes when we are learning, we can stay in a lower position, somewhere within our wish to receive for ourselves, for narrow personal interests. And in such a way, we are not ready at that moment, or at those moments, we are not ready to connect ourselves to a holy name like Elohim, or Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, Havaya, or Adni. There are different names, Kel. And by pronouncing this, just when we are not in a position to receive it properly, we take it and we draw it, and it comes not into us to help us, to enlighten us, but it comes to the needs for the unclean powers. And it means, when it comes to the unclean powers, it means that we did something that is a sin. It means this a sin is egoistic receiving of light. The light is not of us. So everything also here, also in the physical world, every pleasure, everything what we use for pleasure, for life, for eating, drinking, everything. That's why also here we must be careful to take it into us, because in everything is outside of me is the light, and within me, myself, is the light, and the light is not me. I am a receiver of the light, and that's why in order to receive it properly, the light, and the light gives me satisfaction, fulfilling everything, then I must prepare my vessels, my kilim, my reservoir, in order to receive it properly. That's why also we say we don't pronounce these holy names just like the way they are should to be pronounced. Only when we are in prayer, then we may pronounce them the way they are written and they are pronounced. The line 1 after the point. וזהו שפתח בביור השושנה. 2. שהיא הנוקבה דזעיר אנפין. Point. What is better to say, point or dot? Point. Okay, we will say point. One after the point. Vezehu, and that's why Shepatach, that he opens Baviur HaShoshana, with the explanation of the Shoshana, to Shehi Hanukva de Zeranpin, that she is the Nukva, the feminine part of the Zeranpin. First of all, he speaks about the Zeranpin and the Nukva of the world Atzilut. That's what we must know, because there are 5 worlds, and we are speaking about the world Atzilut, because from the world Atzilut comes all the light we receive comes into us from this world. From this world comes the light Chochmah, Chaya. Chochmah, the light of life. And that's why he said he opens with the explanation of the Shoshana, and he speaks about the Shoshana. And the Shoshana is, we translate the Shoshana normally as water lily. The mainly in the world they translate it also with a rose. Rose, like a red flower, rose. And actually, how it's how I try to translate it, not I, me, that I do it different than others, but out of the text of Zohar. It resembles both the water lily and the rose. And sometimes this, and sometimes this, and sometimes more of this, because the conditions are changing. And there is more correction and low correction. And we will see that in the Atzilut, just receive it, what I said, and accept it. In the Atzilut, as it were, Keter, Chochma, Bina, they have 10 spherots, as it were. And Zeir Anpin has only 6. Actually, 6/10 is good, says Tinden. 6/10, not 1, not 6 actually, because all of them, 6, are from one sphera, Tiferet, or Zeir Anpin we call it. But it's like 6/10 of one sphera, actually, if we count that all of them are 5. And the Atzilut, because it's everything, because why it is like this? After this shattering of the Kilim in the world Nekudim, we have now only Keter Chochma Bina, and then we have 6/10 of Tiferet, or Zeir Anpin. And we have, so as we see, it's not full, and 1/10 of the Malchut, and the rest, and is good, and the rest we, the human beings, must add, as it were, to them, during the 6,000 years of the correction, or 6,000 phases of the correction, in order to fill them, as it were, in order to take out of the klipot, of the unclean powers, or not only unclean powers, but protected powers that protect the Kedusha, the holiness, to take it out of them, of the compartment, of the klipot, to take it out and bring it into Atzilut, back into Atzilut. And by that, we, as it were, actively participating in the building up, in the creation, in the deed of the creation. Look how great the Creator was in his plan of the plan of creation. He didn't finish it, as it were, in our eyes completely, but he gave the opportunity for the finishing touch to a man. Then the man will finish the creation, as it were. The man will receive all the glory of the finishing of the deed, because who finishes something, a deed, all the glory comes to him. So HaShoshana, and he calls HaShoshana, you see, Shoshana is, as what we said, lily, or or rose, or both of them. It depends on which aspect of this malchut or this nukva, as he calls, we're looking at. And look at this word, ha-shoshana. Before the word Shoshana is placed a letter Hey, and this is like in English. They connect a word, noun. They place before a noun that is, bepaald, a certain article. They place an article, the, to make it as a special individual article or individual noun, like this. So also here we see ha-shoshana. So he says, v'zehu shepatach b'biur, and that's why he opened with the explanation of the lily, the Shoshana. It means that it is only one Shoshana that he speaks about. That she is the nukva of Zeir Anpin, actually the receiver of all goods. And by that, when she receives everything, this is the goal. When she receives all the goods from the Zeir Anpin, then she can give it further. She can bestow it to the lower worlds, Briya, Yetzirah, V'Asiyah. There are other creatures, many creatures, and also the souls of the human beings. Now we have a parallel, the Shoshana. The Shoshana is the nukva of Zeir Anpin. Why does Zohar calls the nukva of Zeir Anpin Shoshana? Why doesn't he just say Anukva? Because then we know the correlation between the relation between two things, between the masculine Zeir Anpin and Nukva, that we know. Then it would be easily for us. The Zohar is written in a special language, the language of the Zohar, by which the relations and the building of the Etz Chaim, of the tree of life, is hidden from the eyes of the buitenstaander, of the strangers. Strangers means someone who is outsider. Yes, the outsiders. Outsider is someone who is doesn't want or doesn't know and doesn't want to bring himself in congruence, conformity with the laws of universe. This is outsider. They call it evil man, or they call it all kinds of names. There are Rasha, in the Hebrew Rasha, boosdoener, evildoer. Yeah, how do you call it? Evildoer, like this. All kinds of names you can see in the Torah, in the Bible. But the idea is like this. They don't want to correspond to the laws of the universe. And that's why they set themselves aside of all the goods, of all the good that is provided to the human beings. But the Zohar uses this language, very special language that makes us thinking about the material existence, material worlds. You see, water lily, and someone now who studies Zohar or who just reads Zohar, he thinks that it's something like lily, like what he sees somewhere in the water growing, or maybe he says, no, he thinks that he's more advanced in the spirituality. He says, oh, this is not like the lily, water lily, just a physical water lily, like a plant, yeah, no, like a plant, but this is something symbolic. He thinks nothing symbolics. It's of course that the Zohar wants us to feel, to learn to feel this godly family, the operational system of the universe. And just by giving us Sfirot, only through the names of the Sfirot, is not always, it doesn't always sufficient. So in such a way, we are learning the Sfirot, and we are learning their qualities, additional feelings, spiritual feelings, through the language of the Zohar. And the Zohar speaks about the sky and the earth, water, fire, hell, everything, a lot of things we will meet in the Zohar. And always try to make, to make parallel with the tree of life. You hear the Shoshana, water lily, or rose, the water lily. Then you just couple it, no? Coupling. You just connect it, connect it within yourself with the nukva of Zeir Anpin. Or other words that are speaking about the spiritual units. 2. After the point, V'hanukva de Zeir Anpin ba'et 3 Gadluta nikret Bashem Knesset Yisrael כמו שכתוב פה להלן, וזהו שאומר, מן שושנה, da Knesset 5 Israel. Point. First, I translate this sentence. 2. It's interesting that the Torah is called the Holy Torah, and the Zohar is called the Holy Zohar. No other, no other holy books have this predicate, like this, have this, have this predicate. So that means the Zohar and the Torah is the Holy Zohar, the Holy Torah. That's what I want to say to you. By this I want to point out the special place of the Zohar. It's like the Torah, and we can't understand a word in the Torah without Zohar, the Zohar. 2. Ve'anukva the Zeranpin, and the Nukva of the Zeranpin. Ba'et, in the time. 3. Gadluta of her great, of their great, of the great condition, Gadluta. Nikret Bashem is called in the name, means it is called Knesset Yisrael, the gathering of Israel. I will come back a little bit further. Kmo shekatuv, this is the abbreviation. As it will be written for lehalan, further. Vezehu sheomer, and that's what he says. The Zohar. Man Shoshana, what is Shoshana? What is the water lily or rose? Da Knesset Yisrael, and he answers, that is Knesset Yisrael, that is the gathering of Israel. And now closer, we are just, first I translated very commonly, and now we will try to do it more smoothly. Ve'anukva de Zeranpin. 2. Ve'anukva de Zeranpin, and the nukva of Zeranpin. In the time 3 of Gadluta, of her great condition. See, of her grown up condition, you can say, in the time of her greatness, you can say also. So we see something new, that the nukwa can have the condition of her great condition. That means that she can also be in a small, in the condition when she is small. About this we will learn later, but just notice for yourself that the nukwa of the Zeir Anpin, that in the time when she is in the great condition, when she is grown up, you can say. It means that when she will get the condition when she is fully built up, her body, her building is built up out of 10 sfirot. That in the time when she is in the great condition, in the grown-up condition, that her name is Knesset Yisrael, the gathering of Israel. What does it mean? Look how Zohar works with this, how it adds to us understanding and feeling of this heavenly family. Knesset Israel means gathering of Israel. What does it mean? Gathering of Israel is the Nukwa when she has the fully power of the 10 Sfirot in here. Naturally, she has it also in here, but when she's filled up and she has 10 Sfirot, then the name of her is Knesset Israel. What does it mean, Knesset Israel, gathering of Israel? It means that all the neshamot, neshama is the singular, and the neshamot is the plural, the souls. All the souls of Israel are coming from Malchut, from this Nukva, in her glory when she is Malchut. That's why the name is, her name is Knesset Israel. And then, after the comma, Kmo Shechtov, this is the abbreviation. And look, I spoke about abbreviation, so not yet. Abbreviation is, in Hebrew, built up in a way that the last word or the last letter of an abbreviation is divided from the letter or the letters before by 2 apostrophes, like here, Kmo Shechtov, 2 words, Kmo, as, Shechtov, as it will be written or said, for Lehalan, further, Vezehu Sheomer, and that's what he says, the Zohar. Man Shoshana. What is Shoshana? You see, the words of the Zohar, they are in the how do you call it, fat, large letters, within the Asulam. He said, what is Shoshana? And he says, he gives the answer, Da Knesset Yisrael, that is Knesset Yisrael, the gathering of Israel. So it adds to us additional feeling, understanding, color to the word Shoshana. Shoshana, he said, is Nukva of Zeir Anpin. And now, he said, when the nukva of Zeir Anpin is fully grown up, when she has 10 spherots, her name is then transformed into Knesset Yisrael. It means gathering. A lot of things are gathering then in her. Then she, as it were, as a fruit, as a mother of all the souls of Israel. And Israel above and Israel beneath, below, but we will see how it works, because the Torah speaks about these units, that the powers of the system, operational system, in the high world, and it corresponds also here, also on earth, really, that when Israel here, Knesset Israel here, it is also an term here in Israel, the community of Israel. But actually, we will see that the Zohar speaks about one neshama, one soul, and the way that we see that it's also speaks about the gathering of Israel. That sounds as it speaks also about the whole nation of Israel. It's also like this. Why? How we can combine these two? By one very important principle, that everything that exists out of two components that are integrally interconnected with each other, is the general and particular aspect. Everything has two, both in itself. A particular matter or particular aspect, and the general aspect. Both of them. Then we will see that the Torah speaks about, the Torah and the Zohar speaks about only one neshama, only one soul. And when we say like this, it means that we want to point out that this we say out of the particular insight. And when we say that the Torah, like here the Zohar speaks about the Knesset Israel, the gathering of Israel, or the community of Israel, and we want to say it's also it speaks about the nation of Israel. We will say, then it means that we are speaking about the general aspect, and this suggests, this applies to everything. And the next principle that correlates to this is that there is nothing in the smallest part of the creation that it doesn't correspond, it doesn't exist in the general part of the creation, in the whole, in the creation as a whole, in entire creation. And in such a way, if we know that it's like this, like the Chachamim, the wise men of Israel used to say that one man is like a whole world, has a whole world in himself. All universe, even in himself. It means that the inner of a person, of every person all over the world, that has the same, behaves itself according to the same laws as the entire universe, and has the same correlations, the same relationship between all the parts of it as in the entire universe. What should I add more, Miriam? What do you think? A couple of minutes. Yeah. And this is indeed, Miriam tells us, Miriam studies with us already for about 4 years. And she knows also how it works, that you see how carefully, how slowly we are working with almost every word. And for someone it could seem as if it's something stretching. Yeah, stretching out is good or not? It's like stretching out. It's slowly. It's so. Otherwise, it will be just only words. People think that some a little bit naive, that the more pages you will learn, the more you will know. It's not like this in the Kabbalah. It's not in the spirituality. It's not like this. That piece, what you learn today, this moment, must provide you with all the nutrition you need this day. And no more, no less. What you can take this day, this is important. And someone can be hungry and he just puts inside in his belly a lot of food, a lot of products, a lot of meat and bread and everything, just very quickly. Does it work? In the same way, slowly. Even when I study myself alone, I do it slowly because it's like the life rhythm, like biorhythms, biological rhythms, but also one must bring himself in conformity with his own relation to the eternity. And this makes it necessary that when you are studying the Zohar, or when I give the Zohar, I must feel myself from within completely one with what I'm giving to you. And it feels, I can confess to you, it feels that the Creator is present during the lesson. Now we see, before the lesson it was not like this, because I spoke to this, to my wife, to this, to other things, but when I'm studying Zohar, I feel that my hands are getting softer. Everything in me is getting life in itself. Why? Because otherwise it's impossible to give the Zohar in the way it works and it helps. So accept it and actually accept everything what you hear without striking. With me, with the Zohar. This will be the shortest, this will provide you the shortest way to your own fulfillment.